Hey everybody, welcome back to this Tamiya MF-01X Ford Escort Mk.II Rally Kit series. Today we're going to be working on the electronics. We're going to be installing the motor, ESC, and the receiver into the chassis. So let's take a look at everything we need. Obviously we need all the electronics. We need some of the components right here that you see for the motor. And also for the motor, you're going to need two of these very long screws, one of the plain BA6 screws. There is a small set screw, it's like a grub screw right there, and there's this little metal plate that you have to find. So let's get started with the motor. First thing we did was just take off this little black sleeve off the motor, and then we need to prepare the pinion gear to be mounted. So the pinion gear has two sides. One side is indented where you can put in your L wrench. And I'm just going to put that in there first. And if you look carefully, the motor stem here has a flat side, and we need to make sure that lines up with the hole and the pinion gear. So I'm just going to tighten it enough here so that it won't move, but I can still adjust it if needed. All right. And then we're going to use this. This is actually A8. We're going to slip this in, lining up with the grub screw. And I just want to double check. Yep, it's still there. Okay, and we need to move the pinion gear all the way against the plastic here, this little cup. And that is how your pinion gear should look. Now let's mount it onto the chassis. Going to bring back the chassis, and the motor is going to mount right there, and the two screws are going to go in through there. And if you can see the little peephole right there, you can see the spur gear in here, and how our motor's pinion gear is going to line up to it is this is where you would check. So first thing we need to do is to put the motor plate. This is a cardboard kind of a buffer. All right, should look like that. And the next step is a little bit more difficult because you can't really see the bottom screw. But first thing we're going to do is to put these through here. Push it all the way through. Have it come out the other side. And now I'm just going to do my best to line it up. So now let's take a look at the gear mesh. I don't think they're touching right now at all. So let me move that up. If you can see it, the pinion gear It's actually really hard to see. The pinion gear and the spare gear are lined up, and it seems like they're a good space apart. And don't forget, we need to add some grease into the gear mesh right here. Okay, and the last step on this page is to put on this little door that is going to cover that peephole to prevent dirt from getting in. Have to make that screw really tight. Okay, we're done with this part. Let's go ahead and move on to the ESC and the receiver. All right, for this part we need the ESC and the receiver. We're also going to need some double-sided tape. I'm using this super thick Kyosho brand that is for 8th scale. And I have 2 zip ties here for cable management. The reason I am using this tape instead of what came in the kit is because my receiver will not fit into that hole right there. I'm going to have to mount it right here. And if you notice, there is a peak here. It's not completely flat. So I need a lot of thickness to help me stay on there. That's how thick the tape is. All right. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Now I'm going to put the ESC right here. And the picture here shows the ESC going this way, but it doesn't fit. So I'm going to turn it over like this. And set that in there. All right, both of these are pretty solid. Now the switch is going to go right here. It's going to go right here, actually. All right, now it's time to connect the motor. So all we have to do is just double check, see where everything should go. We're going to use the yellow and the blue. Right, so this is the ESC that is going to the throttle slot 2. And the servo will be slot 1. And that's it. Let me do some cable management off camera and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. All right, as you can see, all I did was just bundle everything in the middle adjacent to the receiver. That's where all the wires need to be plugged in. I have the battery plug right here that can go either side of the car. I'm leaving this orange cable kind of hanging for now. I may put another zip tie right there. So that's it. The electronics on this car is surprisingly simple. So I'm going to call the video right here. Thanks for watching. If you got anything out of it, please drop a like. subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.